want you to make more noise than we've ever had in this convention hall right now while we get this game going. This is JulyZerg against Sjow here at the MLG. The countdown's begun. The game will be loading, and we're going to throw that up on screen for you guys to enjoy. So it's going to be a Terran versus Zerg. This is a great matchup. Kind of the classic StarCraft matchup I think most people think of.
Yeah, in StarCraft 1, I think everyone agreed that TVZ was the most exciting, coolest matchup. And it's quite similar in this game, Tasteless. You know, it's a lot about timing pushes, a lot about Marine Siege Tank. But of course, Zerg has changed around quite a bit. July not really having a problem switching it up, though.
No, not at all. Over here, we have our Terran player at the bottom, Sjow. And over here at the left, we have JulyZerg, the God of War Golden Mouse holder. And I think this is going to be pretty crazy. Note these starting locations here. The Overlord at pretty close distance to the Terran base here. He can wane in here, peek at the hatchery, and he can then zip out if Sjow does not check for it.
Yeah, he's going to want to send an SCV out to check if he's there. Of course, this is the MLG Shattered Temple, which means no close spawns because we like fair, fun games.
Yeah, it's very difficult to actually have a fair game like that. Now, notice that, see, JulyZerg peeks. The Overlord was not spotted, and he turns around. I'm a bit shocked, Artosis.
Yeah, Sjow not even scouting in his own base right now.
And sit tight, guys. We're going to have to be busy, as this is, of course, done over the internet. So, anyways, we're in this game. Barracks first. And, yeah, Sjow did not scout that Overlord.
No, he did not. But
I'm a bit shocked by that.
We'll have to see when he actually likes to scout. Sometimes Sjow does not scout very quickly. He is kind of on his own in that style. And in fact, it looks Tasteless like he is going to do 2 barracks, definitely going to put some pressure on. But he has to find out where July is first.
Whenever I think of any of our GSL players, I always think of Nada when I see this build. He loves it. Now, a lot of people see this and think, oh, he's going to do some type of aggressive attack that should end the game. At least in the case of Nada, when we've seen him do it, they tend to make, or he tends rather, to make an expansion over here as he applies pressure. I'm curious to see if Sjow will do the same. We've also seen variations of this strategy where the Terran player sends the vast majority of his SCVs towards the Zerg's base, makes a bunker, and tries to destroy the hatchery.
Of course, the SCV battle cry in that case, Tasteless, if it's most of them, is bit by bit.
It's bit by bit prime, yes.
Yeah.
So, he now knows where his opponent is. He did see the spawning pool, as well as all 3 drones mining at the Vespian gas geyser. So, getting quick speed Zerglings is certainly an option. Sjow now making a bunker.
And that's going to force a lot of drones to pull off, but July only sending 1 for now, 3 more on the way. And that's going to at least chase the SCV away. And he's got to take this very seriously, Tasteless. He's still mining gas, even though speed has started, making a lot of Zerglings. And when these Marines actually come, he's making 10 Zerglings, so I think he might be fine.
I think this Terran should probably turn around. Perhaps he just wants to take out this Overlord, but Zerglings are already out in a bunker on the way, and I feel like Show's timing is somewhat off here.
Yeah, it does seem that way, Tasteless. Those 3 Marines with their stutter step doing pretty good, but there are too many Zerglings here, and JulyZerg looks like he may put an end to this rush before it even really got started. Sjow just losing a lot of Marines and not doing very much with it.
You know, the problem is if you try to commit to aggression in a situation like this, you don't get to actually make the command center on the low ground and expand. Generally speaking, we see the players make a bunker, pressure the guy, and then turn around. And in this case, even as Marines in the middle of the map, I'm dumbfounded.
Well, you know, he thought he could hide there, but there is an Overlord just watching.
Being vigilant.
Tattling on those Marines for hiding there. And they are cleaned up. July, Baneling Nest.
Baneling
well,
Nest.
That's July for you. And if we take a look at Show's choke, he does have a depot in it, so that is the weak point. That is where July is going to want a Baneling bust. And you know, this is the great thing about July, Tasteless. You actually, if he smells blood, he is a shark. If there's blood in the water, if he's like, oh, I killed 3 Marines that I shouldn't, he may just go and try to kill you.
Yeah, he may very well. Looks like he's probably going to morph some Banelings down here.
Some queens out there and just be totally okay with his economy. smart.
Oh,
Double
I love
starport.
This is smart.
Yeah,
this is very unorthodox.
When you get behind like Sjow got, you have to do something wild, and just taking his expansion is not wild, Tasteless. This is a great choice, though. I think for sure we are going to see 2-port Banshee, and he might just wait for a little bit. He's got some Marines around his base to stop any scouting overlords. Yes, 2 tech labs going down, and Sjow is looking like he's going to make a bunch of Banshees. Hopefully, for his sake, though, he doesn't just show them right away.
Yeah, if you get about 4 Banshees, it can be a little bit too difficult for the Zerg to kind of respond in time. 2 alone is enough for Queens with Transfusion to sort of deal with and respond and reinforce with more Queens with Transfusion. Now the expansion will be laid, and I got to give Sjow credit. His start was a little bit sloppy, but his reaction now that he's a bit behind is looking pretty good.
Yeah, it's such a great response, Tasteless. And JulyZerg, if we look in his main base, we have, look at that, a Roachhorn and another Baneling nest. Because we actually talked about this earlier in the tournament.
Sometimes this happens. Even the best make mistakes.
Every now and then you do something really weird, and then you get into normal game mode, and you're like, okay, now I get the Baneling nest.
He caught it. He realized he was making a mistake.
And with that Roachhorn going up, no more Queens are being made right now, no layer being made, no Evolution Chamber being made. These Banshees are going to be deadly Tasteless, but he's going with just the first 2. Should be able to take these Queens out, though. All
right, here we go. JulyZerg just now realizes what's going on with 2 Banshees. That must mean 2 starports. Takes the Queen out, and he can start firing down drones so easily here.
This is JulyZerg coming up with his second Queen, but the second Queen off creep. The Banshees could take that out, or they could run by and attack more drones, but they are going to take out that Queen. He's got to run that one away, and he does.
Beautiful.
Very nice pullback there, and, well, there's another Queen making, but only 1. And are more Banshees on the way, Tasteless? No, he's been supply blocked this entire time.
That is a disaster because the amount of damage he's inflicting right now.
If he had not been supply blocked, then he would already have those other 2 Banshees. That would have been a win.
But, you got to do everything perfectly in a game of StarCraft. It's not just, having the right idea. It's about executing it as well.
And that Banshee still being a huge pain. A 16-kill Banshee, a 17-kill Banshee. And it just goes up and up, Tasteless.
It's pretty brutal. This Banshee remains over here. And, this is the problem is when a Queen has to walk off of creep, as you can see, it's very slow. It speeds up once being on the creep like all other Zerg units. Now, note this, though, and I didn't really get a chance to give this much attention. My apologies. He was mining from the gold base for some time here.
Yeah, and that's going to give him an insane economy. In fact, even after killing all those drones, 41 drones against 36 SCVs, Sjow, he's starting a comeback, but JulyZerg on 3 base with that gold is going to be absolutely fearsome.
Well, JulyZerg is very good at recovering from things. I think Sjow is actually a very intelligent player, but he's not executing everything right. He does have more Banshees, but of course, one thing about Banshees is they generally require the element of surprise when using them.
You know what's kind of interesting, Tasteless? He is making some more Queens, but he has no creep connecting anything. These Banshees might be able to take out the gold base if they go straight to it. And they are going right up there. Of course, the Queens can't get over there. He does have a layer, so he could lay creep even with the Overlords, but as is, Sjow going to do a lot of damage to these Banshees, a lot of spores going up. How many drones can he kill?
Let's see here. He does get a lot of kills off on him. Banshees looping around back over here. And I have to say, even though he got, there was a bit of a hiccup in his Banshee production because he forgot that one. Oh my God.
4 Banshees, Tasteless. That is a lot of damage.
Even though he forgot that one, Supply Depot, he's still doing a ton of damage. It's a pretty impressive feat here.
Oh, wow. And July getting sloppy, losing a Queen for absolutely nothing. And in fact, Baneling's speed not quite done yet.
And I bet he wish he kept that second Baneling's nest he had accidentally made because he has now lost that. And Sjow putting up a pretty good fight here.
Yeah, man. He is building a comeback. 43 SCVs against 46 drones. And is Sjow going to expand again? Yes, he is. He's getting Siege Shanks, Marines, Medevacs. Everything's starting to look really good for Sjow. And wow, to get a comeback of this caliber after having Banelings in your base, Zerglings in your base getting way behind, Sjow is really showing his intelligence.
Take a look at this push by Sjow. Sjow is committed. He knows the gold base is worth too much. He has to do something to destroy the Zerg expansion, or else things are going to get out of hand, especially against somebody like JulyZerg positioning the Banshees here so the Roaches will run into them as he sieges up the siege tanks. The stim is about to finish.
And with those siege tanks there, it's going to be pretty hard for JulyZerg. Remember, Baneling's speed did not finish. He's got a ton of Zerglings coming, but look at that. The Roaches coming up, getting those siege tanks, and that is so, so important. It looks like Sjow in a little bit of trouble, may lose these units, but the Banshees actually adding so much damage that Sjow defeats the army of JulyZerg.
I think JulyZerg is probably scratching his head saying, what's going on here? You know, I thought I got into your base with Banelings and crippled you pretty badly, and of course there was that stifling of your Banshee production, but I don't know if this is good at all for, looking good at all for JulyZerg.
No, I would say not. And July with trying to counterattack there on Sjow, but
GG.
That's
JulyZerg
it.
taps out.
Amazing comeback from Sjow.
The biggest upset I've casted, at least, down here.
I got to tell you, man, his brain is good, okay? He looked at it, he's like, I'm behind. What's something I can do to come back? Oh, I'll make 4 Banshees. And that he did so much with those Banshees. That's why he won that last battle. Those Banshees aren't floating there. He loses that battle.
It was interesting because we don't normally see that response.